Grace and peace, blessings, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whenever you're watching this, it's your boy Benjamin Gibson, aka the Sarge, and back doing another video about Destination GCU. For those of you who missed the first video, I talked about my overall first impression of applying, being accepted, and starting my first class at GCU, or Grand Canyon University, and mentioned Destination GCU, and so that's what this video is going to talk about. So go check that video out to get some more information about GCU, especially if you're thinking about pursuing or furthering your education, whether it's a bachelor's or a master's or even a doctorate. So check that out. So what is Destination GCU, right? Destination GCU is an outstanding event that GCU does, and what they do is they bring possible students to the campus. Okay, there's another word I wanted to use, but it just wasn't there, so forgive me. Prospects. Okay, they bring students who are thinking about possibly furthering their education at GCU. They bring them to the campus and give them a tour and kind of a crash course of what things are like attending GCU. Okay, now, first thing is this, okay? When I saw it, I didn't think that in any way it would apply to me, okay? Because for those of you who know, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to be going online. So I didn't really think that was going to apply to me. But I searched good old YouTube and I saw some people who were doing Destination GCU, but they weren't going for their undergraduate. They were going for their doctorate. Okay. And I saw that basically GCU flew them out there and they were able to sit down and talk to people and kind of see what it was like on the campus. And one of the ladies who was going for her doctorate, she was just like, it is just so awesome because you go online and yeah, you feel like you're a part, but do you really feel like you're a part of the school? So being able to actually go and see the campus and interact with people, maybe interact with some of your professors and see some of the areas, go into the arena, see different things, it actually makes you feel even more like you're a part of the institution. And so I did some more research and I asked about it and said, hey, so what's this Destination GCU? And they had one coming up, which was this past weekend, March 25th, Saturday. And they said, yeah, you absolutely could do it. Now, here's the thing. I was already enrolled and already in class, but they were like, yeah, you can come out, it's no problem. So that's impressive to me. Now, I am very limited in my knowledge of college experiences and what have you. I know that a lot of people go and do college visits, but from what I normally understand and have known, they do that on their own dime. And the only people who actually get kind of, brought out and given, a tour, via the school running it and doing it is like top tier athletes. Okay. Not, normal guy who lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, pursuing a master's who's going to be doing it online. So that being said, they said absolutely. And it was a couple, they sent me the paperwork for it. I signed everything, gave them my information, sent it back to them, and I want to say within a week, I started getting all my information. I got the agenda and the itinerary of how things were going to go on Saturday the 25th. I got my flight information. I got the hotel information, and it was like, wow. So here's how it started. So I flew out on Friday. Now, this is my experience, and I will briefly detail the possibility of your experience being a little different based on where you are residing at and where you're residing at, basically, because I really think that's what comes into play. So Friday afternoon at 5:30, I jumped on a flight from Raleigh and flew direct into Phoenix. Okay, first thing I want to say is that I flew And though it wasn't first class, but for my boarding, I was given like a priority, like boarding number or something to that effect, mainly because GCU was like, you need to be on the plane. We're bringing you out here. We don't need you to get bumped because they oversold or this and that. So you're going to be in one of the first groups getting on the plane. Okay. So that was awesome. So flew straight shot from Raleigh to Phoenix, landed in Phoenix at about 7:30 at night because it's about a 4-hour about a 4-hour flight, and it's a time difference, of course, too. So landed, went down the escalator to go to the baggage claim. Of course, I just had my bags on me because I wasn't staying that long. Got down there, had a very fresh dressed young man standing there with an iPad with my name. Basically, it was a car service. Got me, got my bags. We walked out, jumped in a doggone 2022 Cadillac Escalade ESV, and proceeded to whip down the highway to go to the Embassy Suites. I mean, that right there is just impressive in its own right. Okay, get to the Embassy Suites. I love staying at the Embassy Suites. Shout out to them. And get there, and they check me in. They give me my voucher for my free dinner, and tell me the breakfast is the next morning. Give me some more information based on about what's going to happen the next day. Went, got my food, ate, went upstairs, went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, went down again, Embassy Suites with the great breakfast, full breakfast too. Went down, had that. Then 2 representatives from GCU came up and started to ask people in the hotel, are you here for Destination GCU? Are you here? Had iPads and was checking everyone off. Then after that, we got on the buses and we went to part of the GCU campus. Not the main part, but another part that's about a block down the street. Went there, went into a big room, and got welcomed, and certain people who had academic advisors or counselors who were there for the event came up and met with them and talked to them. John Montgomery, who was my counselor, he showed up. He came, gave me a little baggie of like some goodies and what have you. When we got there, they had coffee, they had bagels, they had donuts, they had cookies, they had all kinds of stuff. So again, they really did not spare any expense. Let me tell you, they absolutely did a great and phenomenal job. I was thoroughly impressed. After that, they give you the itinerary on the things that they're going to show you and things that they're going to teach you. One thing that I want to say is that it wasn't necessarily like a sales pitch at all. It was more so of like, this is what we can offer. This is what you should be looking at when you are looking at other institutions. I want to give a huge shout out because the financial aid brief that they gave was phenomenal. And the guy was even like, look, this is what you could get. Don't do this. Don't get this amount. You're not going to need it. And it's just going to put you in more debt. I mean, they were absolutely transparent and forthcoming with everything. So it was not really, it did not feel pushy. It did not feel salesy or anything of that. Mind you, they spent money for everyone to come in that was out of town. Okay? So it was phenomenal. After after the initial meeting, we went to different breakout rooms. I am part of the College of Theology, so I went there and I met with the assistant dean and actually the professor who I had just finished the University 505 introduction class. He was the instructor, and I was able to meet him, and we kind of talked and asked some questions, and they gave us what the mission statement was, if you will, not just for GCU, but for the College of Theology and Seminary. And that it was great to be able to interact and to ask some questions and what have you. And it's a very intimate like setting. You go to a different room out of the big one and you're able to sit there and talk for a few minutes. After that, they put us on buses and they took us to the main campus, and then we were able to walk around GCU's the main campus, we were able to see the common areas in the library and the different buildings, the theology building, as well as the nursing building, as well as the business building. And then we were able to see the arena where they have their chapels and other events, as well as the basketball games and what have you. So then they took us to the Lope store, of course, and let you go up in there, and they give you a 10% coupon. You're able to go up in there and get some swag and some shirts or some hats or whatever the case may be. And then after that, they put you back on the bus, send you back to the other part of GCU's campus, and they give you lunch, and they give you it's like a travel lunch box that it comes in, and you're able to take that as well. And then after that, they have breakout sessions, so you're able to go and do. I went to the military benefits and talked to a veteran who was a military benefits associate there at the university. So, and I love the way that he briefed it, because he didn't just sit there and give us this whole slew. He was just like, okay, what's your situation? What's your scenario? What questions do you have? And he took each individual on a case-by-case individual basis, because what may be for one might not be for another. Or, instead of just getting a death by PowerPoint or a brief that, is very broad stroking, he was like, boom, boom, boom. So you could tell he was a veteran, because he was going to give it to you straight, no chaser. And he was about, what do you need? And so I went to that breakout. I went to the financial breakout and listened to that. And then there was one other breakout that I went to. About balancing school and personal life together. So they gave you some tips about that. So it was really good. And then at about 3:00, they wound it down and thanked everyone for coming out. Then if there were any counselors still around, that the students would be able to get with their counselors and ask some more questions, or just kind of interact a little bit more. And about 3:30, those who needed to get to the airport to fly back got on the bus and rolled out. So in a very condensed nutshell, that was kind of the day for the tour, okay? Those of us who were not flying out the same day, we're going to stay the night and fly out the next day. We got on the buses. They took us back to the hotel. They had a catered, authentic Mexican buffet for us in one of the event rooms at the Embassy Suites. We were able to go there, eat that. And then I went over to the little restaurant/lounge area and watched some March Madness and hung out. And then went upstairs, went to sleep. The next morning, they had 3 different time slots: 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and 8 a.m., depending on when your flight left. Went down there, got me a cup of coffee, because the Embassy Suites breakfast wasn't open until 7:30, and I needed to be on the 7 o'clock shuttle. Jumped on the bus, boom, took us right there, dropped us right off at the front door of American Airlines at the Phoenix airport, and went through, got on the plane, again, priority like the boarding thing, got on the plane, straight shot from Phoenix into Raleigh, and I was basically home Sunday evening by dinner, which was great, because the wonderful, marvelous, phenomenal, beautiful Dr. Rita Renee Gibson had made some lamb chops and some stuff, and so it was awesome. But on to so that was Destination GCU, okay, and it was absolutely a phenomenal event. It was very informative, and I will say again, it was very impressive, because they really didn't spare much expenses at all. They really wanted to make sure that you had a good event, and that it was fruitful, if you will. Okay, that I saw some people on YouTube, and I think I saw some people that were there as well, had absolutely no inkling at all, had no desire at all to go to GCU, came just for a free trip. And unfortunately, that's kind of what happens. But the thing that I love about it was still top notch. I was absolutely done with the spirit of excellence, and I'm very thankful and grateful to have been able to go and do it. Now, so again, I flew out Friday night, stayed the night at the Embassy Suites. The next day, did the event, had dinner at the Embassy Suites, stayed the night. The next morning, got on a plane, flew out. Okay? Now, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, as I said. There was another guy where we went through security, and then he went one way, I went another way. But he was flying to Connecticut. He had the same exact thing. Flew in Friday, Saturday, flying out Sunday. Okay. Another individual, she flew in from Atlanta, from Georgia. Same thing. Now, I met another young lady who was pursuing a master's in education. She was in California. So she got up at, 30 in the morning and flew out of California, flew into Phoenix, got on a shuttle that GCU had there, and brought her to the event. When the event was over at 3:30, she got back on the bus and went right back to the airport and flew out. So it was basically a day trip. Okay? So didn't get some of the other bonuses that I got. But that being said, she was home and, back and forth and was able to still get everything, the core that I got. Her experience wasn't the same as mine. Probably didn't have some of the little neater things that I was able to enjoy. But again, the core of it was the same. And I want to say that because, I don't want someone who is, in, depending on what part of Texas you're in, or someone who's in New Mexico, or, maybe even Colorado, California, to, think that they're going to get the same exact experience that I got, and then end up, flying in and then flying out the same day. It's really based on flight availability and the fact that I live in North Carolina, flying all the way to Phoenix. They understood that, trying to get a flight just like that was not going to work. So the logistics just wasn't going to happen. So, but again, it was a great event. And I would, I said this in my other video, I would highly recommend anyone who is looking at furthering their education to check out GCU. Whether you're in the Phoenix area, maybe you go to the actual campus, or maybe you stay and go online, or if you're somewhere not near Phoenix, not near Arizona, and want to go online, I would absolutely recommend it. Again, I think I mentioned this in the other video, but if you don't know, Grand Canyon University is a Christian school. All you have to do is look at their doctrinal statement, and you will see that, and it is as bold and it is proclaiming as you can imagine. I was very encouraged and very impressed when I read it. So they have an absolute Christian worldview, and they will expect you to conduct yourselves accordingly, being a part of GCU and being a part of the student body. Okay. So if that is, if that's you, I would look at them. They have nursing, they have business, they have theology, they have things. So if you're looking at getting a degree in one of those fields, or one that I didn't mention, they have other ones I just didn't mention. Check them out. I would absolutely check them out, especially my veterans, because they will take care of you. And if you're like, I want to check it out, contact them and ask them about, Destination GCU, and say, hey, I would like to, I'm really thinking about pursuing, furthering my education, and you're one of the spots that I'm thinking about, but I would really like to get to know, some more. Do you have a Destination GCU event coming up? And it's very easy. They'll send you the information. You basically just sign, give them your information, your date of birth and what have you, so they can make sure that they get the tickets for you for your flight, and send it back. And then it's a couple of days later, you'll get the information saying, hey, we're looking forward to having you at GCU, And then as it gets closer, they will send you your hotel and reservation information as well as your flight information. So yeah, absolutely. I would recommend it wholeheartedly. And Destination GCU was amazing, top tier, no complaints. And it just confirmed again that I made the right choice in selecting GCU for furthering my education. All right. If you go to GCU or if you have gone to GCU, please feel free to share any comments that you have. If you have questions about it, please reach out to me either here or I'm going to post this on Facebook. So if you're watching this on Book of the Face, you can go ahead and comment, there as well. If you went and you didn't have a great experience, you can share that as well, because I know I'm not naive to the fact that I'm sure there's probably some people who did not have the best experience either on their Destination GCU or attending GCU. I mean, people's experiences are different. This is my experience, and that's why I tried to give the other experiences of some individuals that I talked to, like the young lady from California. So hers was just a long day. She got up early in the morning, she flew in, she got on the bus, went to the event. After the event, got on the bus, went to the airport, went back home. So basically just a long day for her. The fact that I was able to kind of enjoy it a little bit more and had some actual downtime and some relaxing time at the hotel and what have you, was really nice, was really neat, and was just kind of an added bonus, if you will. Yep. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop yapping. And again, kudos to GCU, one, for just being a great institution that I have the pleasure of being a part of, and also for just a top tier event, which is the Destination GCU. So please leave any comments that you like, agreeing, disagreeing, but just be respectful. And until the next video, Lord willing, I'll see y'all then. Y'all stay easy, be blessed. All right, hopes up.